Oh man, it has been a while. I'll take apologies for the kind of hiatus. Is that the right? I don't know if that's the right word. We're going to go with it anyway. Apologies for that. I've been busy with life, been busy with work. The weather's been shite recently. The weather's been shite recently, so that's kind of taken a bit of a, you know, that's been kind of stopping it really. Like, I'm not, if I get caught out in bad rain or like bad weather, like fuck it, it is what it is. But in general, I try not to dive out in the rain too much. Although tomorrow I've got a bit of a bigger trip planned. I'm going to see a mate. He lives up near Wales, and I'm going up to see him for the weekend. I'm going to go and do some walking, go do some eating and shit. And I'm going to take the bike. The weather's lush today, so it is forecasted to have a couple of showers, but I'm hoping that it's not going to be ridiculous. Like I say, I've got a fucking rocker kit anyway. Yeah, you're welcome as well. I got me a rocker kit, everything's waterproof, and then like you arrive and you go into a house, it's like there's no issues. It reminds me of like, this is the thing, like whenever I was in like the army, I always used to just despise like being out and getting wet, especially like on exercise, because it was just like, you know, you just know you're going to be getting into your sleeping bag like wet. And like, obviously you change, you put like dry clothing on and stuff before you get into it, so you don't soak it. But like, it's just, it's so fucking demoralising. And then in normal life, in normal civilian life, when you go out, you get wet, you go in most of the time, unless you're out camping or something, you're going out and you're going back into like a warm environment. You can dry your clothes off and stuff like that, and you get warm quickly. Have a shower, have a nice bath, for those of you that do baths. This might be a little bit of the subject today, because I've got a couple of pals now that do things like this, and they, instead of having showers like religiously, so generally I will be a 2 shower a day person. So I shower in the morning when I get up, and normally through the day or something like that I'll do some fizz, so I'll then have another shower like before bed. Generally that's how it works for me. But I've got mates that don't do showers, they only have baths, and they do have the shower available, but they have baths instead. Baths. That for me is absolutely mental. I don't really think it's a question of I'm sitting in my own piss, shit and detritus in the bath while I'm like washing and stuff like that. Like I used to do a bath like after exercise, like after military things, long military things or something like that. I used to have a bath like after that, but or after like a rugby match, after a long rugby match, I'd do that as well. But otherwise, it was always like a shower. I always just used like, it's a bit of a therapy thing, I suppose. I always used to like the feeling of it all like brushing off me, and that's it. I can cleanse the day away, all that kind of crap. I also used to think, I suppose, it saves a little bit of water. That's probably bollocks. You probably use the same amount of water. I don't really know. But I just fucking I'll sit in a bath and I get hot. I get sweaty like immediately, and I'm just like, nah, this annoys me. And it's just like, you're just sitting there, no bubbles, anything blowing about or anything like around you. It's just like, this is shit. However, I am an absolute slag for a jacuzzi. I love a jacuzzi. I swear by a jacuzzi. They are basically just big bathtubs with like bubbles and a bit of like incense, or I don't know, what's the the smelling things. Smelling salts, that's not the right word for it. They're not smelling salts, and it's not incense, but you know what I mean. The aroma, maybe the aroma, the minty aromas. It's something like that. I'm not 100% sure. We'll leave it there. So yeah, I love a jacuzzi. I'm a slag for a jacuzzi, but a normal bath, weird. I don't understand people that just do baths. It weirds me out, to be honest. But hey, I've got a little bit of a dicky throat at the moment. Not a dick in my throat, I've got a dicky throat. So I think that's why my voice keeps going all the time. So complete 180 that. Let's go back to bikes. Okay, back to bikes. If I was in the right position to do it, which I'm not at the moment, I would be switching to either an F900 DS or a new 1300 GSA. The deals that BMW have on at the moment for that is absolutely insane. I bet this is getting kind of boring. I'm going to switch this view around. Let's do the old one-handed remove again. That's not working. I'm going to need to pull over. I'll pull over and do it, because that's probably the more sensible thing to do, rather than riding down the road doing this. Let's do this. There we go. It's off. Good to go. Make sure we're all good. We're all good. Yeah, the deals that Beamer have on at the moment are really, so I think it's weirdly, I think the GSA was like more expensive or something. It was something stupid like that. So for like 149 quid a month with, I think it was 2,200 down. So PCP obviously, because that's nowadays that is pretty much what most people can actually afford to do in terms of getting a half decent motorcycle. Most people do PCP, don't they? Let's be honest. So yeah, so 2.2 down, and then it was £149 a month. That was for a good spec, as in like TE, all that kind of crap with all the Gucci bits, but for £149 a month. And then within the same deposit range, I think it was like 2,400, so 2.4. It was either, it was 100, I think it was 169 for the 1300 at trophy spec, so that's still got good bits on it, for £169, and then £189 for, well, maybe they did the picture wrong, or the picture, like, they just wanted to make it look like it was the 7190 bit. You're okay, thank you very much. Maybe they just wanted to make it look like it was the 7190 thing. And that was, again, with 2.4 down for 189 quid. And that was, I think it was a 3-year deal with 5,000 miles a year. I think it was 5,000 miles. So if anybody is thinking about it and hasn't had that email through about all those deals, have a look at your local dealership and just have a check, because those deals are nuts in terms of pricing. I think this is cheaper than what my GSA was, but unfortunately when I swapped in and bought this, the percentage rate on that PCP deal was 7.9, whereas now it's 3.9. There must be a big thing where like people are either struggling to sell bikes, or because it's come to the end of the year or something like that, they've just knocked the APR down. And again, it's PCP, you're just basically renting it with a little bit of extra on top, which is what most people do nowadays, I believe, that are cutting about on newer bikes, just because that's the way the world works now. We can't all afford to buy new bikes outright. I mean, if you can, well done you, but I'm not in that kind of position in my life. Maybe one day I will, but then I probably wouldn't be buying a brand new bike outright, because you lose a little bit off the forecourt and it's just nearly new. I think it's going to be the way forward. I don't think I've ever driven this road in my life. It's actually quite nice. Okay, so that's kind of the bike talk over. I haven't done anything else to this bike since it's kind of been there. I've got a service booked for it 15th of October, something like that. 15th, 14th maybe, I'm not too sure. I'm off work when I do it, yeah. Hoping that the weather's not diabolical for that day, because I've got to absolutely bang it down to the south of Devon. But when I got this, I paid the service plan off with it, and it's like shit in the road. It's like 700 quid, I think, 740 quid, I think, and I get all the services included for either the mileage of my plan or the mileage of my PCP deal, or the years of my PCP deal, because I'm never going to do the mileage for it. All of my servicing is basically paid, other than little like in-betweeny like wear and tear bits like tyres and brake pads and stuff like that, which is fine, so I do all that myself anyway. This is kind of like a residential bit, and it's still a national speed limit, which is not alarming, but it's kind of like an MOT centre. Class 4 and 7, not for me. This has got to cut down to a 30 soon, surely. But it's one of them. When people get to these kind of lanes, there we go, 30. When people get to these kind of lanes, I do just think, like, most people slow down anyway, just because of the nature of the road. You can't, because you probably could, but beaning it through there is just ridiculous. We're reverse parking. Oh, we're going again. Has he made it? Oh, we're going again. We're going for another angle. I'm going to give you some space, just in case you do swing out properly. Cheers, Tesco man. Massive tractor! It's been, I've got a Facebook profile that has no friends on it, and I'm basically just in it for gossip on bike forums, and like local town forums and that kind of shit. That's basically the only reason that I'm on Facebook, just for stuff like that, and for selling stuff on Marketplace and shit. And I have, like, I think I was in quite a visible position there, so that just takes the piss slightly. But, we don't get angry about it. It's gone. It's gone. It's over my head. It's gone. Where was I? Oh, the Facebook thing. Yeah, and like this week, the weather's been nice here, so loads of the farmers have been out like doing all the bits, like remucking all the fields and stuff. And the comments and posts on like local Facebook groups from people are like, oh, has anybody noticed the smell in the air? Oh my god, it's horrendous. It smells, it's so different. Oh. And I just thought, this will be funny, I'll go for a little bit of rage bait here. So I just put, I think I put it in like big capital letters. I put, breaking news, farmers farming. And I don't often do things like that, but I just thought, I fancy giving myself a little bit of humour today. So that's why I did it, and I didn't really trigger anyone else, but I had loads of people like agreeing with me, so that made me feel a little bit better. I would have taken that a bit wider, but I'm not going to. Cows in a field! So yeah, that was obviously spurred by seeing a tractor. So I saw a tractor and all of a sudden that story came back into my head. Oh, a thatched house. This is the thing. So you look at houses now, right? Or I think it must be a thing, right? So all thatches, I think, are Grade 2 listed. Somebody correct me in the comments if that's wrong. I'm not 100%, but every thatch that I've seen, not on Rightmove and stuff, has been Grade 2 listed. To make it back into a normal house, as in like with a normal roof, can you just do that, or is it something that you have to apply for planning permission and stuff like that? Because I did a Google afterwards, and I was just thinking, how much is it to refactor it? It's like 20 to 40 grand, like depending on the roof as well. And obviously, like a re-roof would probably cost similar to that, but then you don't have to do that every 10, 25, 30 years, depending on the grading of the thatch, and like how well the job's done. So in terms of buying a house like that, you think, oh yeah, it's a really, really nice picturesque house, that's wonderful. I know it's picturesque, but I like saying picturesque. I think somebody doing that must then go, okay, I need to have a lot of spare cash and financial outlay to be able to, in 10, 15, 20, 30 years, pay for my roof to be redone, like rethatched. And there must be some, this is the thing, there must be some kind of government grant or something along those lines to then say, okay, we are going to support people with that. There probably fucking isn't in this country, is there? We don't support anybody apart from, yeah, I'll say it, apart from people that are just literally not in work, on benefits, stealing my taxes basically, and all of our taxes. Probably the people that are watching this are not going to be those type of people, I've got to be honest. Stealing all of our like taxes. Are you pulled in just to let me through because you think I was waiting for you? I wasn't. And I just think, it's just, I'm going to go into it. I'll go into it gently, very gently. It's got a lot more prevalent now with the flag wavers on either side, by the way, either side, just to be clear. Loads of people are just kind of like talking about it. Why aren't these people at work? You know what? Why aren't you at work? Like, have you taken a day off just to come and do this? I appreciate some people have like shift patterns, work different weekends and all sorts of things like that, but it's like there's a lot of people that are consistently there, and I know it sounds horrendous, but the general demographic, I didn't want to scare the dog, so I was going to move the other way. Tell you what, I'll dip clutch, I don't want to scare the dog. Good, far enough? Yeah, okay, there we go. The general demographic on either side is, this is going to sound horrendous, I think, but I don't think, the general demographic is like the older people, I think, on the stand up to racism side and that kind of side. You have people with blue hair, like dyed hair, and like older people with glasses, the Jeremy Corbyn type people. And then on the other side you have the people in bomber jackets, the people that are down pub drinking Stella Artois, and you know, the stereotypical type, you know what I mean? On either side, most of them fit the stereotype. And then you get the one or the couple of people that are obviously like put there to be in front of the camera, to have their face seen and their face shown. I just wrote my dissertation on this, basically, all about media framing and stuff, and like how we all know this anyway, what you see in the media is not what is happening in real life, that is a fact. But the way that all of this has been framed and the way that all of this has been looked at is to show one side worse than the other. And then you have the way that the police are dealing with it and the way that the government are dealing with it. Notting Hill Carnival, for example, the way that the ambulance service have responded to any incidents there. And it's like, I get that the media have a job to do. I completely understand that, and no issues, because effectively what I do with this platform, sharing and stuff like that, is in a way media-y type thing. I appreciate I'm like a couple hundred subscribers and I'm just here chatting shit and my opinion is completely irrelevant, but the influence that has on normal people that maybe don't have the access to go out and do that and like participate, look, get the real information for themselves, like, I fully appreciate that stuff is really bad in other countries. Stuff is bad in our country as well. Knife crime is ridiculous in this country, and that is because, probably quite factually, because we don't deal with it robustly enough. We deal with it as like a slap on the wrist or anything. All you see the courts giving people nowadays are suspended sentences for anything. Oh, community order. Take people's liberty away. Like, do you remember getting detention at school? For some people, it'd sort them out. For some people, it'd like make them worse. But then more punitive measures, right, get out of school, that's it, you're done. Obviously, they'd then go down probably a darker path, some of them, but some would then be like, right, okay, I've been kicked out of school, shit, I can't do anything with my life. Some people that haven't had any like decent schooling or education are now like millionaires, and they've sorted like loads of their lives out. School doesn't work for everybody, just like certain punitive measures don't work for everybody. And I think we all like try and cater to the masses and things like that. The biggest thing is the way the media look at things is horrendous. We make the country look shit. I think every single like country takes the piss out of us with like pictures of knives and stuff like that. Like there's like reels of like, oh, this is what happens when you come to London, just people getting stabbed up, and you're just like, that probably is what happens for most people, and that's their opinion of it, the whole thing. Right, I am going to go now. Goodbye. I'll leave it there after this. Right, okay, can I get in here? Yeah, I'm going to go in. That guy looks well confused at me. I'll leave my little rant there. That rant can end. Oh, welcome to Tamar Lakes, and there's a fishing competition. I've definitely just pissed everybody off that should be fishing. Hello, friends.